What if I told you that there is a simple pattern, just 3 numbers, that has quietly guided wealth for generations? A pattern so simple that most people ignore it, and yet so powerful that those who follow it rarely stay broke. 7, 7, 7. At first, it sounds ordinary, just numbers, but hidden inside this pattern is a way of thinking, a system of discipline, a structure that changes how money flows in your life. And the truth is, most people don't fail because they don't earn enough. They fail because they don't have a system. They guess, they react, they hope things will work out. But wealth doesn't come from guessing. It comes from structure. And today, you're about to understand a structure that can change everything. Let me ask you something. Have you ever earned money and wondered where it went? You worked hard. You tried to save, but somehow it disappeared. Bills, expenses, unexpected costs, and at the end of the month, nothing left. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone, because this is how most people live, not because they are careless, but because they were never taught how to manage the flow. Money came in and went out, with no direction, no system, no control, but the 777 rule changes that. Now listen carefully. The first 7 is about giving. Yes, giving. And before you react, before you say, I don't have enough to give, understand this deeply. Giving is not about losing money. It's about directing flow. Imagine money like water. If it sits still, it becomes stagnant. But when it flows, it stays fresh. It moves, it returns. The first 7% is what you give. Not randomly, not emotionally, but intentionally. To help, to support, to create impact. And something powerful happens. When you give, you break the fear of loss. You stop thinking like someone who is struggling and start thinking like someone who has enough, because giving says, I am not empty. And your mind begins to align with that belief. Opportunities begin to appear, connections grow, trust builds, and slowly, your relationship with money changes. Now the second 7 is where most people fail. Saving, not what's left, not what's convenient, but a fixed amount. 7%. Every time. No matter what. This is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Because saving is not about money. It's about identity. When you save, you become someone who keeps, who protects, who builds. Most people don't save because they think they need more income first. But the truth is, if you can't save a small amount, you won't save a large one. Because habits don't change with income. They reveal themselves. Imagine 2 people. One saves a little, consistently. The other spends everything, waiting for more. Years pass. One builds stability. The other stays the same. Because wealth is not built by what you earn. It is built by what you keep. Now the third 7, this is where growth happens. Investment, not gambling, not guessing, but intentional growth. Taking a portion and using it to create more. This could be learning a skill, starting something small, building something that grows over time. Because money that sits still loses power. But money that is used wisely multiplies. And this is the difference. The poor mindset says, I need money to spend. The wealthy mindset says, I use money to grow. Now pause for a moment, because this is where most people make a mistake. They hear this rule, and they think it's about percentages, but it's not. It's about balance, flow, protection, growth. Giving keeps your heart open. Saving keeps your foundation strong. Investing builds your future. Remove any one of these, and the system breaks. Let me tell you a story. There was a man, hardworking, dedicated, but always struggling. Every month, the same cycle. Earn, spend, repeat. One day, he decided to try something different. He created structure. He didn't wait for the perfect moment. He started small, a little giving, a little saving, a little investing. At first, it felt uncomfortable, because discipline always does. But he stayed consistent, month after month, year after year, and something changed. Not overnight, but steadily. He became calmer, more in control, more aware, and slowly, his financial life transformed because he stopped reacting and started directing. Now let me ask you something again. Do you have a system, or are you just hoping things improve? Because hope is not a strategy. Structure is, and the 7-7-7 rule is a simple structure, easy to understand, but powerful when applied. Here's another truth most people ignore. It's not about how much you make. It's about how you manage what you make. You can earn a lot and still struggle, or earn modestly and build stability, because money respects discipline. Now imagine this. Every time money enters your life, you already know what to do. No confusion, no stress, no guessing. You give, you save, you invest, automatically. That's power, because decision-making is removed. And when decisions are clear, action becomes easy. But there is something deeper here, something most people don't see. This rule is not just about money, it is about control. Control over your habits, control over your impulses, control over your future. Because without control, even large amounts disappear. Let's talk about something important, consistency. Because this is where most people fail. They start strong, then stop. They try for a week, then forget. But wealth does not respond to effort. It responds to repetition, small actions, done consistently. That's what builds results. Think about this. 7% may seem small, but over time, it grows. It compounds. It builds momentum. And momentum changes everything. Because once you start seeing progress, you stay motivated, you stay committed, and your confidence grows. Now here's a powerful question. What if you started today? Not perfectly, not with a big amount, just started. What would your life look like in 1 year? In 5 years? In 10 years? Because time will pass anyway. The question is, will you use it or waste it? Let's bring it all together. 7% giving to keep flow alive, 7% saving to build stability, 7% investing to create growth. Simple, clear, powerful. And once you apply this, something shifts inside you. You stop feeling out of control. You stop feeling behind. You start feeling capable, because now you have a system. And systems create results. Not luck, not chance, not guessing, structure, discipline, consistency. So the next time money comes into your life, don't treat it casually. Don't let it disappear. Direct it. Control it. Use it wisely. Because in the end, wealth is not hidden. It is structured. And once you understand the structure, you realize it was never about how much you had. It was about how you used it. And when you use it right, even small amounts begin to grow, slowly, steadily, powerfully, until one day you look back and realize everything changed. The moment you stopped guessing and started following a system. 7, 7, 7, simple numbers, but behind them, a completely different life. And now, you know. The only question left is, will you use it